Hello everybody, this is X and it's my first tutorial in a series I'm going to be doing on complete mastering using Izotope Ozone 5. So what I have here is a track I've just finished, and I've got looped just kind of a little exciting section here, so I'll play that for you real quick. Alright, so what I'll do is on your master track here, add ozone. And there's a list of presets which I'm not going to use. We're going to do ours completely from scratch. So if you go into your graph here, it'll tell you like the order that it's going to go through these different parts in ozone. So first you can see is your EQ1. So that's where we're going to start. And you can turn off the bypass here. And what I like to do is change it from stereo to mid-side. And what that does is it splits it into two different EQs. So there's one for the side, which if it's on a stereo track, it'll be playing like on the outsides, and mid will be looks right down the center. So on the side, generally what I like to do is drag up this 8 between 1 and 2 decibels and around 8,000 hertz, and drag down your 1 about a decibel around 75 hertz. But with that, you kind of have to listen to your track and see which sounds best. And keep in mind throughout these tutorials that mastering is very subtle, and you kind of have to respect that and know that it's not going to make a huge difference or else it's going to sound obnoxious. So I'm just going to play around with these until it sounds right. Alright, that's not sounding too bad. And that difference you're probably not even going to hear unless you're listening on really good monitors or headphones. But now you can move over to the MIG side. And this, again, you just want to do the opposite. It's since down the middle of the track, you're mainly going to have your kicks and bass sounds and maybe some synths. You're going to want, or those tend to be the lower sounds. So you can pull that up a little bit, and that'll kind of richen it up. And then roll off just a little bit of high end. And here's how it sounds before and after that. Crap. Alright, so that is it for your EQ. And now next on the graph is Reverb, which I don't like to use in Ozone because it's a great reverb, but if I want to use Reverb, I'm going to add it to individual sounds within my project rather than the whole master track. So next you move on to Dynamics, which is your Multiband Dynamics plugin. And you can see it's broken up into 4 different bands up here. This is like a EQ, and you can switch between them. But what we're going to focus on for now is band 1, which is just the very low ends, and you can solo it and move this around however you want. So since I have that soloed, I'm just going to move this around until I have it just at the brightness of my kick. So you can see what I mean. And typically when you start to hear your snare or clap, that's when you want to stop. And that tends to be around 300 hertz. Give or take a little bit. Right now I'm at 289. But now what we're going to do is drag your limiter ratio down to about 1.5 and bring down this just a bit, and now you can play and drag down this until down here you're seeing about 1 decibel of gain reduction. So here we go. Oh wow, hold on. I'm gonna have this on gain reduction rather than histogram. Okay, so now we can see better. And you can see it's sitting pretty consistently around 1 there. And I have to say, I don't know a whole lot about the Dynamics plugin. I just kind of have found out what sounds good and what doesn't, and I've stuck to that. So you can bypass it and see if what you've done sounds good, and sometimes what I've noticed I've been doing with this is kind of hollowing out the sound, which I don't want. So then you can just go back and bring this up a little bit to fix that. So let's see. Good, and then on your compressor section of this, you can drag your attack up to 500, so you want it at 200-ish. That's gonna make it. It's gonna make your kick a lot punchier. And then drag your release around. You can keep that around where it was, which was 100. And that's gonna be, again, a very subtle difference, but here it is. So now it's just sounding a bit more interesting and rich from your equalizer and dynamics. So that's it for the first tutorial, and in the second tutorial I'll be going over the next 1 or 2 plugins. So thank you for watching.